we have Van Jones looking like a effeminate gay black in a purple suit, and we have a lesbian looking like a middle-aged Carrie Fisher, but like lesbian. I don't think I'd even want to see this girl in the Jabba the Hutt outfit. And her name is Kara Swisher.
And I think the problem here is, I'm guessing the Trump administration was looking for an example. This video was quite disturbing.
Okay, hold on. So these hacks have made this about Trump again. Just like the Central Park Five. Like, hey, Trump, what's your fucking problem with the Central Park Five? Like, God, you're kind of fucked up about that. No, there's a bunch of PRs and blacks who stormed into Central Park and were assaulting people, and they raped and murdered a woman, or nearly murdered her. She lost 2/3 of her blood, but they gang raped a woman. And I'm also against murder, so I'm going to take an ad out in a paper and say, hey, we should have capital punishment and kill murderers. So Trump's stance on the Central Park Five is murder and rape are bad, and so is assault. And they're like, God, Trump, what the fuck is his deal? To this day, he takes shit for being morally perfect on that issue. It's unbelievable. And this one, they're like, oh, you're outraged and Trump is looking for a video like this. Again, they think we want this. We don't want anything like this. It's the exact opposite. What kind of twisted psychological ploy is this to turn the entire thing around? And one of these former slaves, a descendant of a former slave, stabs to death a totally innocent white woman. And we're sitting here having a conversation of, why do we want this? What kind of victim-blaming bullshit is this? And why? To avoid the one thing that these people cannot do, not even lesbian Carrie Fisher, which is blame blacks. Blame them. He did this. Fuck him and fuck that community, aside from the dentists.
You have the combination of social media at the same time, blowing it up, and so it creates sort of the perfect storm to point to something. Just like,
God, that is mind-blowingly insane that she just said that. We want to point to something. First of all, she wasn't a something, she was a someone. And we're pointing to someone who was brutally murdered by a black person. And it's worth pointing to, and no, we didn't want this. We don't want to spend our day doing this shit. Why is this person, she's incapable of condemning a murderer if he's black. Do you think if there was a white man who stabbed a black young woman in her neck on video, do you think this woman would come out and say, I think it really speaks to the Kamala supporting black people on social media. They were looking for a reason to be hateful and racist towards white people. Like, what? This person is a complete fucking lunatic.
Like when Dukakis, when he was running for president, Lee Atwater took advantage of that one incident that was terrible.
Oh, another black criminal? Okay. So yeah, Dukakis, who was it, Bush versus him? They had differences in their ideas on crime. And obviously Dukakis was a fucking idiot if he wasn't hard on crime. We don't want people being murdered, you dumb fuck.
That was very troubling for voters once they called attention to it.
So the problem is calling attention to it. I got you. Word to the wise, I see what you're saying there. Just don't call attention to it, because attention is currency. That's everything. Out of sight, out of mind. So if you want to win a political race, then highlight some crime that people are going to be upset about and say, look, Dukakis, he has policies that let these people out, revolving door. Well, if you care about human life, then vote for us because we try to protect human life. Sounds pretty sound to me. Sounds like reasonable. But she's upset that attention has been put on this. And she's kind of low-key suggesting, don't pay attention to it. We should have done the thing of like, guys, run and hide from the truth about black crime, because then we could pretend it doesn't exist. And we could formulate our own little world, our own bubble, and live in that. Now, do you think I looked up Kara Swisher? Oh, yes, I did. I typed into ChatGPT the following sentence. Is Kara Swisher Jewish? Yes, Kara Swisher is Jewish. She has spoken openly about her Jewish background and upbringing in interviews and podcasts. Would you like me to pull a direct quote where she talks about it? No, I don't need to. I'm happy. I understand she's Jewish. I didn't choose Jewish announcers. The fact that this is the second Jewish person in 2 videos. So Brian Seltzer or whatever, and this woman happens to be Jewish, happens to be anti-white. Both of them. Both of them took this story, turned it on its ass, put white people on the hot seat and said, what the fuck is wrong with you white people? Unfucking real. Now, does that mean all Jews are this way? No. So tap the brakes on that. We have 1,000 Jewish dentists that are not about this. But I absolutely condemn the 2 Jews that I've covered in this video. No, it's not an accidental coincidence that they're Jewish. It's absolutely a pattern in and of itself. Anyone that says otherwise says that I don't acknowledge that. I'm the first to acknowledge that. I've told you about all the Jews involved in freeing Adnan Syed. I've told you about the Innocence Project being run by Jews. There are key Jews in positions of power that have this exact attitude towards blacks and whites. To not acknowledge that is to be insane. I'm beyond acknowledging it. Okay, she is a woman saying this. By the way, women are not innocent of all this. Women are to blame. That's a pattern in and of itself. Women are worse on all of this shit than men. On moral clarity on black crime. Period. End of story. So it's not just the Jews. There's white guilted bitches out there. There's far left bitches out there of all colors that are completely lost on this topic. It's not a Trump thing. It's not a presidential politics thing. It's not exclusively a Jewish versus other people thing. It's not exclusively a gender thing. They all factor into this. It's probably a gay versus straight thing. Gay people are probably softer on this issue. And that woman happens to be gay, Jewish, and a woman. So it's a trifecta of things where she is definitely not going to say morally obligatory things in response to a black man slitting the throat of a white woman. She is going to say indefensible anti-white bullshit and not grapple with the issue in the fucking slightest.
Certain people have been...
This is the host of the show, by the way, who has been DEI'd as being the host of the show. She 1,000% did not earn this role. And blacks are overrepresented in news to an outrageous degree. And guess who's making those choices? Who's pulling the lever to hire her? It's probably a Jew. Guaranteed, point blank. It happens in Hollywood too. Look at who the casting directors are. Look at who is making the decisions. Who put Trevor Noah into being the host of the frickin' Daily Show? A Jew? Yes. Jon Stewart. Yes. 1,000% yes. That phenomenon happens over and over and over again.
Looking for an opportunity to find a case like this, to make a point like this. I want to play...
We have to find a case like this? This case was thrust before us. No one wanted this to happen. We're not looking for a case like this. So, this is just astronomically backward. Literally on a witch hunt going after our reaction to a cold-blooded knifing of a totally innocent person. And they're like, why are you guys looking for this? We're on trial. Not the black guy, not the black community. We're on trial because she's suggesting we wanted this.
This is Charlie Kirk, why he says this hasn't gotten a lot of attention.
A white Ukrainian refugee was murdered just because she was white. Everybody knows that, obviously. If a random white person simply walked up to and stabbed a nice, law-abiding black person for no reason, it would be an apocalyptically huge national story used to impose national sweeping political changes on the whole country. Instead, Megan Basham, no one seems to care when a white woman gets stabbed to the death.
Wow. He said white a lot.
Well, unbelievable. Okay, so the Jewish lesbian just said he said white a lot, which is interesting because that's almost an unfiltered look into her brain, her like lizard Jewish brain. She didn't even hear what he said. Everything Charlie Kirk just said is 1,000% accurate, and no one can refute any of that. None of it. And he was saying very basic things. And all she heard was white. And every time he said the word white, something went off in her brain where she goes, ooh, that's bad. Because he was saying something about white people and it wasn't derogatory. Okay? He was talking about white dignity, which is what I call it. Having honor, respect, and pride in who you are as a person, as a biological being that comes from like a history of other beings who created you. That is, loosely, you could call that racial pride. It's also called like biological sanity. It's called not being a fucking self-hating cunt. And every other group has this, and we should have this too. And so for Charlie Kirk to acknowledge and point out that a white person was violated here and that matters, she took issue with. She's saying, ooh, he said white a lot, which is not even a point, by the way. Imagine being on a news program, you're talking about Black Lives Matter and some black victim of some bullshit, whatever, and you're like, these protesters keep saying black a lot. I heard the word black a lot. She said that, and she got a smile from the person next to her, the fat cow. And it's like, yeah, he said white a lot. A white woman was stabbed to death by a black. And what? The fuck? Do you know the Jews, the Jews say Jew a lot. They do bring up Judaism a lot. They seem to care about Jews a lot. Interesting. Fuck that, right? Right, Kara? I keep calling her Carrie. Kara, you keep saying Jew a lot.
He said white a lot.
Well, we are talking about it here, so I guess
True.
I don't think that's fair.